Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first virtual open day. At this moment in time, we are just going to allow a little bit more time for people to join our meeting. So we will officially start in the next 4 or 5 minutes. We appreciate your patience. As said, we just want to allow everyone to have the opportunity to join. Thank you very much. A very, very good morning to you all from a wonderful and sunny Johannesburg. Thank you very much for joining our first virtual tour of our school. We are privileged to welcome you. As we introduce the different role players, at this moment in time, I just want to acknowledge the passing of one of our founders, Advocate George Bizos, who was laid to rest this week. We acknowledge his contribution to our school, and we promise to carry on his legacy. Stokalo, Theo Yorgo. Thank you very much, as I said, to everyone joining us this morning. My name is Jaco Kruger, and I'm the Director of Student Affairs of the high school. I'm going to quickly go through a couple of house rules. The first thing, ladies and gents, if you haven't had the opportunity, you will see in the chat, there is a registration form. Kindly, if you have the opportunity, to please complete that registration form. The set out for today is that we will go through a virtual tour, that is our students that will be taking you through our various aspects of the school. And we really want you to have a feel of what our pupils are like, what our school is like, and our expectations. At the end of the 10-minute video clip, we're going to give you the opportunity to meet some of the major role players. You will be welcomed by Sophie Zacharia, the principal of our primary school, as well as our executive head, Mr. Warwick Taylor. You will see all the faces on the screen. Those are all the people here, the senior management of the school, that are here to answer any of your questions. So after the introductions, we really would like to encourage you to please ask questions. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to ask Mr. Harper, our IT specialist, to please put on our virtual tour. I hope you enjoyed. Our students worked very hard in preparing it for you, so enjoy. Thank you, ladies and gents.
Hi, my name is Swana Dube. Welcome to Saheti School. I'm very excited to tell you about the first virtual open day. Why don't you come inside for the tour and you'll get to meet some of our students. One of the first people you're most likely to see in the morning are our head boy and head girl, George and Sophia.
Good day, and welcome to Saheti's virtual open day experience. We are thrilled that you're considering our school.
On behalf of Saheti, we would like to thank you for sharing some of your time with us to catch a glimpse of life at Saheti.
We understand that choosing a school for your child is one of the most important decisions a parent can make.
In the next 10 minutes, we hope to share some insights and information regarding our school.
Along the way, you're going to meet some of our pupils and parents, see the classroom life, hop into a lesson, learn about our proud academic history, and our rich extramural program.
But more than that, we wish to give you a virtual experience of what we are about and why you should consider Saheti as part of your future.
This is Tigizwan Bata. She's a grade 8 pupil who will take us on our tour today. It was lovely to meet you.
This is one of our grade 1 classes. This is where we take our first small steps to the bigger journey. Behind me is the school's honors board. The school was established in 1974 by a group of founders led by Advocate George Bizos. The school has around 1,300 pupils from 30 different nationalities. With me is a very special member of the Saheti family. This is my mother. Why did you choose Saheti as a school for me?
So I chose Saheti as a school for you mainly because of their school motto, which is Know Thyself. For me, self-awareness is very important because when it's instilled in a child's life at a young age, it will carry them through their whole entire life. Another reason was the cultural activities that the children are exposed to and the fact that they are encouraged to take part in sports and culture, and it forms part of their discipline and commitment beyond the classroom. Another reason was the fact that Saheti is a very inclusive school. So each and every child feels very equal. And most importantly was their academic excellence. And that was a deciding factor for me.
Here at Saheti, every student has a voice. So let's hear what they have to say.
As a new student at Saheti, finding my own personal identity is very important to me. And after only 6 months have I managed to develop my own voice and boost my self-confidence through our cultural activities program.
Here at Saheti, we believe that health and exercise is part of our well-being. We enjoy healthy competition. My favorite sport is basketball because it gave me the chance to experience something I've never done before.
If there's anything you can take from Saheti, it's the lifelong friendships and bonds that you make, not only with the students, but with your teachers, coaches, and staff.
Here at Saheti, everybody's eager to help us, from the teachers to the psychologists and the chaplain with the church in the premises. They are all here to support us.
This is our newly renovated Library and Technology Center. I cannot wait for you to see it. I've asked some of our grade 6 pupils if they can tell us their favorite thing about Saheti.
Hi, my name is Takan. One of my favorite things about the school is the sports, especially my favorite sports, water polo and netball.
Hi, my name is Alexa, and my favorite thing about the school is that we're one big family, and we have the opportunity to learn Greek, which not many people have.
Hello, my name is Tishil. One of the things that I like about Saheti is that they're very loving and caring.
And now for a taste of our Greek dancing lessons. Thank you guys for letting us watch your Greek dancing lessons. This is our beloved school hall, named after Advocate George Bizos. This is where all the magic happens. Drama, public speaking, debating, and many other cultural activities take place right here. From here, we go on to excel in inter-school competitions and festivals. My personal favorite being the annual house plays, written, directed, and starred by our very own Saheti students. Definitely the highlights of the year. Welcome to our science lab. This is Nick. He's going to be telling us about the good academic record.
Yes, of course. Saheti does have an exceptional academic record. After all, this is part of its DNA. Our past pupils thrive at any university, nationally or internationally, achieving their goals. Ranked by WITS as one of their top feeder schools, this is where our pupils leave their mark. But Saheti School isn't just about that. I believe that Saheti inspires us to thrive at everything that we do and achieve goals that we never previously thought possible.
This is one of our wonderful classrooms. Let's go inside.
My name is Miss Klein and welcome to my English class. Behind me I have my grade 9 students. I've been part of the Saheti team for 7 years and I'm very proud to be a part of this team. Saheti prides themselves on academic excellence. We have a wide range of sports and cultures. We really look forward to having you at our exciting school.
Hi, my name is Shreya. I'm sure some of you are nervous about coming into a Greek school and having to learn about a Greek culture. But let me reassure you, everything will be okay. Not only did we focus on the language, but also got a taste of Greek music, Greek dancing, mythology about ancient Greek gods, and of course my favorite, the food. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Saheti students and learners are here to assist you. Good morning, my name is India Jardine. Welcome to Saheti. I came to Saheti in grade 8, not having a clue about the Greek language, culture, or people. Now, a year and a half later, past the overwhelming stage of the initial introduction to the Greek language, I have fallen in love with the Greek language and culture and completely embraced it. Hi, I'm Maria. Personally, being of Greek descent and being able to attend Greek lessons and being part of the school of Greek ethos and traditions really lightens my cultural identity. Witnessing all the big event celebrations at a school so far from Greece really makes me proud about my home country. Σας ευχαριστούμε που ήρθατε τη μέρα του σχολείου μας και ευχόμαστε να σας δούμε στο σχολείο μας το 2021, which means thank you for coming to our open day and we hope to see you in 2021.
Let's take a look at one of our computer centers.
Hi, good day. My name is Suleiman Simo and I'm the head of computers at the primary school. We at Saheti place a great emphasis on the use of technology. Even with the lockdown, we're able to continue to provide a quality education. This was all made possible through the commitment of our professional and dedicated staff.
That brings us to the end of our tour. Thank you for spending this time with us. I would like to introduce you to our executive head, Mr. Warwick Taylor.
Welcome. Please come in. Take a seat. How was your tour?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and that's where we find ourselves now, virtually in the executive head's office with all our senior management team of the school here at your beck and call to answer any questions that you might have. We're going to ask firstly for Mrs. Sofia Zachariou, the principal of our primary school, to say a few words of welcome. Thank you, Sophia.
Good morning. I'm just unmuting myself. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this our school. I'm Sofia Zachariou. I'm the headmistress of our primary school. I believe education at our school unfolds itself from our motto, Gnosis Afton, know thyself. It is a motto that empowers us to be authentic, bold, and courageous. The values and character education that feeds through our daily curriculum supports our pupils to become citizens who demand that our society is harmonious, gender respectful, and discrimination free. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Sophia. And now our executive head, Mr. Warwick Taylor.
Good morning. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Today we will give you some insight into who we are. I'm not going to give you a list of our achievements and what we have on offer in terms of facilities and extracurricular. What I would like to briefly mention is something about our ethos and vision, which Mrs. Zach has just shared with you. At Saheti, people feel like they belong and they're part of the family. Our ethos and values are founded in both the South African and Greek traditions. I love this quote about Aristotle that speaks of educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So I believe our students matriculate with integrity and are competitive globally in their ability to think critically, independently, and creatively. Our results and recognition by Wits University as a top feeder school places us amongst the top academic schools in the country. Our school motto, know thyself, speaks to our focus on the individual. This is not an egocentric perspective. Certainly, as we begin to unravel who we really are, we have that ability to connect with others and understand our place within society and also around God's purpose upon our lives. Our values, our core values are compassion, respect, responsibility, truth. Greek word philotimo, which loosely translated speaks about a love of honor, and courage, ubuntu and agape. Saheti is a community school, and also provide the support and care for your child. With small class sizes, it facilitates the participation in the broader curriculum and allows individuals to really be known, loved, and cared for. From grade 1 to grade 12, we have on average 80 students per year group, generally split into 4 classes, no bigger than 25 classes. In the high school, class sizes in optional subjects are generally much smaller than this. This year, we are 48 years old. We also offer a play school and pre-primary, if you're not aware, and an aftercare center. Greek studies is compulsory, but we accommodate at all levels of proficiency, from beginner to advanced within each grade. Why co-educational? Well, co-educational schools better reflect the diversity of our society. According to research done in Canadian schools, students in co-educational schools generally feel more comfortable about who they are and more positive about life. And just in terms of our religion, the Greek Orthodoxy, it is certainly not enforced upon any student. We do attend chapel twice in the year per grade, and there are about 15 or so specific days that we celebrate. But as I've mentioned, students are not forced to be there, but it's something that we focus on our core values through all that we do. And they are the fundamental values that come through in our orthodoxy as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taylor, for that comprehensive introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment in time, you are more than welcome. You have options. You can just speak, or you can raise your hand if you have a question. We are also going to address some of the questions that you were kind enough to submit during your registration process. One of the questions that were asked, it was in terms of the grade 1s, how are we managing in terms of this disruptive year because of the pandemic? And we're going to ask Mrs. Debbie Kolatzis, who is our foundation spokesperson, to please come and just answer that question. Debbie, if you are there, otherwise, Sophia, if you can come in if necessary.
I am here. Thank you, Mr. Kruger.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. We've obviously re-looked at the curriculum and we've streamlined the curriculum so that we can do intensive numeracy and literacy for this year to try and recover any lost curriculum that we may have had from this year.
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. I know it's perfect. I appreciate it. There's a very good question that has just come up. And I think anyone that feel they can answer is, what support do we have in place for kids with learning challenges such as dyslexia?
I can speak to that again. So we have a really good support plan on campus. So I can speak from the foundation phase side, and then I know Daniela, you'll speak from the high school. But we have speech therapists, OT therapists. We also have a learner support specialist on campus that we can refer children to. And then we also follow an independent education plan as the last resort as well.
Perfect. I think Daniela, please.
Good morning. I'm the academic director of the high school. We certainly do look at the children, see where their potential lies, look at the barriers to learning. We certainly do believe that most of our children are in fact able to produce outstanding results with the correct learning support. When pupils enter at grade 8 level, or when at any stage they arrive at the school, they do have a comprehensive assessment which tests and assesses where they are, what their potential is, and what the barriers to learning are. Thereafter, we try and accommodate a program internally without adjusting the curriculum. Certainly, we offer in-house support. There is a language specialist that comes in as well, and where necessary, parents are asked to accommodate those support measures even beyond the school curriculum and beyond school hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pitt. I'm acknowledging the hand of Rejoice. Ma'am, please feel free to pose your question.
Good morning. My name is Rejoice. I've applied for my daughter and they've rejected her application. I want to know, can I still re-register again because she still insists she wants to come to Saheti?
Ma'am, thank you very, very much for that question. I'm going to ask Nicola Palmer. Nicola, if you will be as kind as to manage that question when you have the opportunity. Ma'am, I'm sure Nicola Palmer, our registration secretary, will definitely get hold of you as soon as this it is over. And then she can give you all the details that is required.
I am online and I will contact her, but if that question exists for anyone else, you are welcome to reapply, and we will go through the screening process again to see if the gaps have been closed.
Thank you very much. Then I think a very important question to many of our parents, are there extra Greek learning opportunities for learners who will be learning the language for the first time? And I'm going to ask our high school teacher, but please, anyone can feel free to answer. But Kyria Elena, if you are here to be able to help with that question. Kyria Elena.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Kruger, and thank you to everyone who has shown an interest in our school. I am going to speak to you about Greek in the high school. And one of the things I am going to say is that in grades 8 and 9, as Mr. Taylor mentioned before, we start from grades 8 and 9 and we separate the students in classes whereby they are taught according to their previous knowledge of Greek. In other words, those who come to Saheti for the first time will enter the beginner's Greek class, and they are going to be taught right from the start. In addition, we offer tutorials to all learners who have any type of difficulty in any concept of the Greek language from grade 8 up to and including grade 12. If that answers your question.
Ευχαριστούμε, Kyria Elena, and I can attest that that approach is through the whole school, from the pre-primary and the play school. There's really a very good sense of support, and we're also lucky to have Kyrio Kaludi. He is in charge of the primary school Greek, so I would like to invite him to also please just elaborate on that approach to the teaching of Greek. Kyrio Kaludi, ευχαριστούμε.
Good morning from me as well. For students who don't have any knowledge of Greek, there are bridging classes in the primary school. There are also support groups in the afternoon for students who need more help.
Bravo. Ευχαριστώ. I hope that addresses that part, but please, if you need any more clarification, please feel free to ask. Another question that came through during the registration process had to do with the textbooks. So I'm going to ask Dr. Pitt, who's the Director of Academics of the high school, just to give clarity on the role of textbooks, where do they come from, and then we will also ask just to address the academic support that is given. Thank you, Dr. Pitt.
Thank you. So I'll take the question as a two-phase question. So the first part is dealing with textbooks. I know that we get a lot of questions from parents whether we only have online resources or whether we have hard copy resources. We use a synergy of both. We do send out a textbook list at the end of every year, which is compiled by the teachers. And certainly pupils do use textbooks in many of the subjects. Some subjects, like history, for example, is a pure source-based subject. Therefore, it doesn't have a textbook. So it is subject-specific in the high school. Novels in the languages, we do not mind whether pupils use an e-copy of the book or whether they use a hard copy of the book, as long as they are able to make copious notes. Our academic program is one where we believe that pupils should be taking notes in terms of all the work that they are doing. Note-taking is probably one of the most effective ways of ensuring that academic material is integrated into long-term memory, and long-term memory, we know, is the way forward in terms of education. The kind of learning support that we offer, there is a tutorial schedule that is set up where we have short intermittent tutorials per subject, which run on a program that marries the extracurricular program. So it never allows the child to feel compromised that they must select between an academic program in the afternoon or attending a particular sport and cultural activity. And we do certainly encourage pupils to do this. And pupils are also encouraged to make appointments with teachers should they not, in actual fact, understand an element of work. But our aim long term is also to encourage pupils that they should be working consistently at home. We like to encourage independent learning in the afternoons, where they will carry out the tasks and schedules that are expected of them in the classroom. And thereafter, they come in and discuss it with their teacher should they find the necessity to do so. Thank you.
I say thank you, Dr. Pitts. And then I saw a raised hand, Maria Akakios from our primary school. I saw your hand was raised. Would you like to add anything?
Thank you, Mr. Kruger. I'd just like to echo Dr. Pitt's words. The same approach is used in the primary school for academic support. We have support tutorials where teachers invite pupils to join and they get extra tuition. With regard to textbooks in the primary school, we do not prescribe any textbooks, but prefer to use an eclectic approach where teachers get their material from various sources and create their own materials. Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gents, also one of the questions that came through at registration was in terms of what is our normal day like. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to confess Saheti is a very, very busy school. The school day normally officially starts at 10 to 8, but you will find our pupils here from before 7 o'clock in the morning with academic support, with the sporting program running early morning, and it carries on until the late afternoon. And during the cultural peak, they're here until very late at night, participating, contributing to our school. So the normal school hours is from 10 to 8 until 2:15, but you will find that we believe that we need to develop our students holistically, that we need to offer them every possible opportunity to build character, to better themselves, and to enjoy life. I mean, that is part of what the Greek nature is, and that what we believe in, that within that joy, there is achievement. All right, so that is in terms of the school day. There's a very good question. In the primary school classroom, how do we encourage the children who are prone to be introverted? I think it's an excellent question. I'm going to leave it open to any of the primary school staff, but Ms. Zachario, maybe if you want to come in, if no one wants to take that question right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to repeat the question. Is in the primary school classroom, how do we encourage children who are prone to be introverted? Please go ahead.
Thank you. I think I believe our whole culture and our ethos allows for each child to be an individual. And yes, you're going to say, but there are children who are by nature, like you say, quiet, more quiet than the rest of the children, or more reserved than the rest of the children. The feel and our focus on allowing our children to be confident, to understand their worth, and for our teachers in the class to value each child within the class allows the child who is introverted to feel confident enough and supported enough to hold their own voice and to echo their own voice.
Thank you, Mrs. Zachario. There's another question, and it has to do also with the primary school. What is the school's homework policy in the primary school? I'm not sure.
I will allow both the academic vice principal and Mrs. Kalatsis, not allow, I would like Mrs. Kalatsis to speak for grade 1 to 3 and Mrs. Akakios for 4 to 7.
Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Okay. Can I take for grade 4 to 7? Homework is given, but only to reinforce concepts. We do not believe in giving homework for the sake of giving homework and having children working for hours on end. Most of the work is covered during the school day. And as I say, it's just to reinforce certain concepts and possibly a little bit of research if a project is needed or projects are completed at school. And certainly, bar when it's exams for the higher up grades, grade 6s and 7s who write exams at the end of the year, no homework is given on weekends. Thank you.
And the same applies for the foundation phase. We don't give homework at the weekends. And basically the homework we give is revision and revising, and it's based on spelling and reading, because we feel that those things need the practice. It's like learning to ride a bike or play piano. It needs that repetition. So that is the type of homework that gets sent from the foundation phase.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalatsis. we are giving more opportunity if there's anyone else that has a question. What will happen is, as we draw this meeting to a close, there will be people that will stay online, so that if you ever have a question in future, please contact Nicola. She will direct that question. But we will also stay, even at the end of this meeting, there will be a few of us available for another 10 minutes for any follow-up question. There's another question: are the playgrounds for the different grades groups kept separate, or is everyone together at lunchtime? I can speak from the high school side, although I do anticipate this might be a primary school question, but for the high school side, the groups are together. They do socialize together to build that synergy and that camaraderie that is healthy for a school. But I know that in the primary school, they do look after and they anticipate that the children need to be supervised. So, Mrs. Zacharia, is that a question for you?
Is Kiravangelion? Otherwise, I'll answer. Okay, I'll take that. We've got different areas for our primary school. We've got grade 1 to grade 3, a playground area. Kiravangeli, I'll just finish my sentence and then you'll take it. And then we've got our grade 4 to grade 7. Kiravangeli will come in and just explain it in greater detail. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Zach. Welcome to everybody. Just to repeat what Mrs. Zaharia has said, they have been separated in the foundation phase and the intermediate phase in terms of playing areas. But they are in the proximity of their classes, and also in terms of the break duties, and that we always have a healthy number of staff members on duty to overlook and to watch our children. What is noteworthy, though, given the social distancing that has to be implemented now with the rotation and with the opening of the school, and that they're a lot more sparse, so we can ensure that the proximity is a healthy one. And once again, they are quite separate, the senior primary to the junior primary. Right. I hope it answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Kokonas. And Mr. Kokonas is the Deputy Principal of the primary school. There's another question. Are there any other languages offered besides English and Greek? So I think it is a very good question. I think Dr. Pitt, if you can help in terms of high school languages that are offered, and then I think then Sophie will help. Maybe yourself or Ms. Akakios can answer in terms of what is offered in the primary school. I know that it's the same, but I think it will be good to have a broad scope. Thank you.
So the home language, the school of tuition is in actual fact English. So all pupils do English home language. They have a selection of doing either Afrikaans first additional language or isiZulu first additional language. We encourage pupils that they continue the language of choice in their first additional language, what they've had in the primary school. But we do offer both. And certainly, and then obviously there is modern Greek, which is selected at the end of grade 9 level. But at grade 8 and 9, all children are in fact exposed to the heritage and culture and language of Greek. Modern Greek is run as a second additional language, and it is a designated subject at university. And when pupils take it at the end of grade 9 level, and it's not open only to pupils of Greek heritage, we have a great number of pupils of non-Greek heritage who take the language. It does in actual fact contribute towards points at university, and we encourage pupils to take it as an 8th subject. Certainly, if there are pupils who do have a cultural background, Portuguese, Italian, Mandarin, we offer those subjects, but we are not responsible for the tuition, but we do encourage them to take the language as an additional subject after hours, and then they can register should the centre in which they are taking those languages are sufficiently competent and cohesive in order to allow the pupils to take the subject at matric level. Thank you.
Then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to refer to a couple of questions that have also come through. First one is, does Saheti have a library, a resource center? As you saw in the video presentation from the students, we have a newly renovated, a very well-equipped resource and media center that is available to all students, and that is available as a study center, as a resource center until very late in the afternoon. Are extra lessons provided as part of the education? Yes, it is. Dr. Pitt, as well as Mrs. Akakios, has elaborated on the academic support that is available to all our students. These support is obviously free of charge, and we encourage our children at any level to participate in these extra lessons. And then there's also a question, and I think I'll ask Kriatonia. Kriatonia, I think this relates to the Greek support program. What Saturdays activities, Kriatonia, are available currently for Greek non-Saheti scholars? So Kriatonia, from the Greek side, the question relates to Saturday lessons, if you are able to answer it. All right, maybe her microphone is not on yet, but there is a program that runs on a Saturday to assist people that would like to learn the language. Kyria, are you there? Can you help us? Thank you, Kyria Tonia.
Με ακούτε? Καλημέρα, καλημέρα.
Ναι, καλημέρα, Kyria.
I'm here. Kalimera to all. Thank you. My name is Tonia. I'm the principal of Greek Studies. On Saturday, we offer a variety of a program for the non-Saheti kids: language, history, religion, computers, Greek dancing, and Greek music. And they all welcome to come and attend these beautiful Saturday lessons. Thank you.
Ευχαριστούμε, κυρία, πάρα πολύ. There's one more question that I'd like to address that has come through from registration is what platform do we use and how did we manage online teaching? We were very privileged as a school that we were able to carry on tuition. Our students were able to learn through online platform. The platform that was chosen by our IT department was the Teams platform. It was viewed as most secure as well as most appropriate in terms of carrying on education. Yes, we are privileged that we've had the right bandwidth and all of those things in place even before the lockdown started. So for many of our students, the transition from learning at school to learning at home was quite seamless, and we carried on as usual. We are up to date. We would normally be with syllabus, etc. But it is wonderful to have our students back at school. We are a community school where the warmth, the interaction between pupils are valued and important. So for us, it is nice to have them back. As a teacher, to see someone not on a screen but in person is absolutely fantastic. But as said, we were able to carry on teaching in a safe, secure online environment. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask if there's any more questions? Please feel free to ask or raise a hand. If there's no further question, I would like to say on behalf of myself, Jaco Kruger, thank you very, very much for attending this morning with us. As stated earlier, I'm going to stay online. Nicola Palmer will stay online for at least another 10 minutes if there's any other follow-up questions. And then we'll have the final thank yous from Mrs. Zachario, the primary school principal, and then the final word from Mr. Warwick Taylor, our executive head. Thank you very much, and thank you for this wonderful experience to meet you. All right, Ms. Zachario, thank you.
Thank you. In closing, I would just like to say, it is said that unless knowledge is transformed into wisdom, and wisdom is expressed in character, education is a wasteful process. And I truly believe at Saheti, we cultivate and we create and we infuse our children with both wisdom and character. Thank you.
That's brilliant. Thank you very, very much, Sophia. And then Mr. Taylor.
Thank you. Today would not be possible without a willing and dynamic team behind the scenes. And I just would particularly like to thank Jaco Kruger for coordinating today, our Director of Student Affairs. So thank you, Jaco.
Thank you.
We are privileged as a school to have benefited from Advocate Bezos's input into our school, his energy and contribution to shaping who we are. And I just wanted to quote from a poem that he often quoted from by the Nobel Literature Laureate, George Seferis. And the reason why I want to do this is that the poem speaks to a culture within our school of working towards a little more than where we were yesterday. Actually, I won't quote the poem, but just it ends with a verse, aim just a little higher, and that's really where we are as a school. Thank you once again for joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. To everyone that is here, I wish you a fantastic Saturday, and we're looking forward to again working hard on Monday morning. I wish you all well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Kruger. Hope you have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming in or being present. It's really appreciated. I think it was appropriate. Thank you so much, sir.
Excellent. Have a good day. Cheers.
You too, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.